It's no secret that we're learning about the brain at an unprecedented rate, but how we study for the RD exam is kinda outdated. So in this video, I want to share what some of those problems are and bring them up to the surface so that you're aware and you can do things a little bit differently to boost your chances of passing the RD exam on your first try. Or if you happen to fail, no big deal, because you can still install some of these ideas as soon as tonight in your RD exam study sessions and take the exam a second time with much more confidence. So stay tuned. Hey there, welcome to this video. My name is Priyanka. I'm the founder and creator of Nutrition Genius. I'm a registered dietitian and I help future RDs like you how to study and pass the RD exam using the power of brain science or learning and memory science. I'm just going to cut to the chase here because I do not like to waste people's time and I have a lot of stuff that I want to share with you. So in order to boost your chances of passing the RD exam, I think there are 3 trolls that you should be aware of that are kind of slowing your results down in terms of your ability to remember the information, harness it in your brain, and take the exam with confidence. So let's just jump right in. Troll number 1 is a linear presentation. Troll number 2 is a lack of visuals, and troll number 3 is a sluggish sequence. And this is all critiqued by learning and memory science. None of this is personal. So first and foremost, troll number 1, linear presentations, right? So linear presentations are basically just bullet points, listicle formats, outlines, and the research out there shows that it's not the best way to start studying and start reviewing information. It might be okay to kind of reinforce the ideas, but when you're first getting started, unless you're really proficient and really competent in all areas of dietetics, a listicle linear bullet point presentation isn't going to be the best way to start it off. The main reason why is because your brain is a meaning maker. It's looking for context, it's looking for background, it's looking to connect the dots, it's looking to understand the rationale. And the problem is that most RD exam study guides out there are not giving you the context. And if you're not getting that context, the information isn't going to be meaningful to you. So what do? Well, it's pretty simple. You need to actually kind of whip in 2 ingredients into the way you're studying for the RD exam. And that's number 1, you got to make associations, and number 2, you got to start making links. So associations are a relationship. It's a relationship between 2 pieces of information, and it doesn't have to be a logical association. It could be something very wonky and weird. And all you need to do is put those ideas together. You can put them together on a flashcard or you can study them together on the same page. Doesn't matter how you do it, but try and make a relationship out of those 2 pieces of information. The second thing that you can do is that you can create a link. Think of events, think of metaphors, think of stories, think of an object that reminds you of a concept or a theory. Doesn't have to make sense, it just has to be a relationship and make that association. So when you're studying a section of information in your RD exam study guide and it feels a little bit disjointed, kind of fragmented, try and make a relationship out of 2 concepts or really any 2 pieces of information. And once you find a relationship that really works for you, if you can remember it a day or 2 later, chances are it's a really good relationship. And I would put that on the back of a flashcard to help you recall that information. And you would be using another principle in learning and memory that's called retrieval practice, which is basically just repetition. So that's how you can solve the first problem of a linear presentation. Troll number 2 is a lack of visuals. So the human brain has this amazing thing called the visual cortex, and your visual cortex can process illustrations, symbols, pictures, any graphic at an astounding rate, at a rate of tens of millions of bits per second. Now, that's really fast. It's actually hard for me to articulate just how fast that is. But here's the problem. Most of the RD exam study guides out there are visually deprived. They don't give you pictures, they don't give you graphics, and the problem is that it's taking you a little bit longer to process that information. Most of the content actually is just headings, a hierarchy of subheadings, bullet points, as we talked about in troll number 1. So what are you gonna do? I say that you gotta find a way to make that content more visual, and some very easy things that you can do as soon as right now is just start drawing. Just start drawing some of the concepts and put them on the back of flashcards, put them on your notes, and that alone is going to help you boost your capacity to process that information much faster, and it's also going to help your memory. But another thing that you can do is, if you think you're not really creative and not really imaginative, and I had a lot of students in the past when I used to tutor back in the day, they used to tell me, I'm not really creative, I don't really draw, I don't feel like I can really use my visual assets as much. That's not true. Just hop onto google.com/images and look for a visual representation that matches your imagination. It could be a photorealistic graphic, it could be an illustration, it could be a cartoon. Doesn't matter what it is, just find something, a picture that matches your imagination of any nutrition concept or theory, and use that picture as much as you can. Use it to prompt your brain. Use it on the back of flashcards. Use it on visual notes, which is something that I often used to teach my students. This alone is going to speed up the work, and you'll feel in a couple of days that, wow, I am really remembering this information with way less effort. So tip number 2 to kind of defeat troll number 2 is use your visual memory. It works like a charm. Troll number 3, the final troll that's lurking about in your RD exam study guide, is a sluggish sequence. Now, if you order information in the best order possible, you're going to understand that information a whole lot easier. It's going to optimize your comprehension. Most RD exam study guides aren't designed to do this. Now, I have to admit that this is a little bit more challenging. It's a little bit harder to apply, and it requires someone to reorder the information, analyze it, and shift and sort things around so that it is easier for someone like you and me to understand. But if you can do this, it's really going to pay you off, because as you are studying the information in a certain sequence, it just feels effortless. It feels like it's much easier to understand, and it feels like you're hitting those aha moments. Think about it. When we were in college, we actually had to do this. We had to study one course before we graduated to the second course, and we had to study the second course before we graduated onto the fourth course, right? This is sequential learning, and if you can apply it, it's going to help you understand information. It will give you what I call that deep water understanding of all those concepts and theories that are going to be on the RD exam. Now, how can you actually apply it? I would say think about it this way. It's all about cause and effect. Study the cause and then study the effect. So think about processes, think about methods, think about step-by-step scenarios or situations. Just find those types of things in your study guide. Once you find it, then ask yourself, how am I going to apply this on the job? How am I going to apply this idea in real life practice as an entry-level dietitian? So I'm going to need to have you put your think and act like an RD hat on and try and close that gap as much as possible, because it's going to help you clarify what that sequence is. So those are 3 ideas to defeat the 3 trolls inside your RD exam study guide that you can apply as soon as tonight. Now, what if there was something out there that kind of brought all of this together under one roof? It had amazing visuals, it had a great sequence to help you understand the information better, and it didn't rely so much on linear presentation. Well, if that really excites you and it resonates with you, I got some really cool news to share with you. In just the next several weeks, I'm going to be launching and releasing a new program called RD Exam Masterclass. RD Exam Masterclass is a new visual science-based review of all of the RD exam content. It's comprehensive, and it's taken many months, actually many years to build, and it's basically designed to help you study and remember the information longer term. And I often tell people that it's designed to help you become a better registered dietitian in the long run. I'm going to be launching a lot of live sessions over time, probably in a month or 2, and if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about it, you can drop your deets and your name and email at this link down here below on the screen, and I'll notify you when it's ready to launch. Thanks so much for watching and listening. I hope you got a lot of good use out of this information and that you apply it in your RD exam study sessions. I know it's going to help you out a lot. But until then, I will see you in the next video. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. So first and foremost, I think there's 3 trolls that you need to tackle. snap, crackle, pop. And then number 3. What's number 3? Am I even recording?